Hello, this is Patrick from Berlin, and I want to give you an update on the happenings in Ukraine. Of course, to say it in advance, this is just what's supposed to happen at the moment. There is very little information on the actual happenings in Ukraine because there's so much disinformation and so much wrong information to that situation. So what happened this morning is that at about 3:30 in the morning Ukraine time, Russia has invaded Ukraine.
I'm here, I'm going.
And have started to fire rockets on several points in the Ukraine, among others about 25 kilometers around Kiev. They have taken out all Air Force bases in the Ukraine, so Ukraine has no functioning Air Force at that time. They also have crossed with tanks the border into Ukraine from the whole northern border. So far, there are many people trying to flee the Ukraine capital, so Kiev, and there are huge queues of cars with a lot of traffic and traffic jams for people trying to get out of the capital. Also impacted, of course, are the supermarkets. There are long lines in front of the supermarkets, people trying to get food, trying to also get at the ATMs money, so they have a huge run on these places, and so they have even cut down the amount of money you can withdraw from the ATMs within these days. There's also reports of casualties within the area of Ukraine. Also soldiers were already killed. People are missing. So far they have asked for the whole people or have drafted the whole country into military service so that they can prepare for defending the country. The European Union have already answered that they will impose economic sanctions on Russia. They are freezing the accounts of many of the leading personnel and militaries and politicians in Russia. They also want to cut down the stock market from the international exchanges. They also want to impose other economic sanctions, among others. Apparently they will cut down the Russian gas pipeline into Europe. They hope that with that sanctions they will get Russia to stop that war, as it is possibly running out of money. Besides that, Russia already knew that these sanctions will come, and nevertheless they have started the invasion today. Also, there are, of course, impacts on the worldwide global stock markets. The stock market in Germany already is down about 3.5%. The gold prices are up nearly 2%. The oil prices went beyond 6% up. So the border control within Russia reported that the tanks are running closer. They have already apparently taken 2 smaller towns, and the attack is still in running. Ukraine has asked the international or the European countries to help. The United States already have said they will support Ukraine. They didn't say anything about military support, but in terms of the economic support, they have pledged to fully support the Ukrainians.
And what about Germany?
The German foreign minister also gave a statement just a few minutes ago that this is a worst scenario that we can see in the Ukraine, that they have broken international laws, and that there's bloodshed, and that they will impose these sanctions also on a European level. They have crisis meetings today for the different foreign ministers, and the crisis task force is running already since yesterday, trying to get the law the law background clear so that they can impose these sanctions. Also, it is very interesting that the whole Ukraine Air Force was taken out within a few hours, or within this night. As I said, at 3:30 a.m. the first attacks started. People were woken up by gunfire in the Ukraine capital, Kiev. So far, there is also the complete civil air services are taken out. There's no planes allowed to fly, no civil planes allowed to fly within the Ukraine. The German and other airlines already cancelled their flights a few days ago. Until then, at least the Turkish airlines, for example, were still continuing their services to the Ukraine. So many people had the opportunity to leave the country, and now also these airlines have needed to cancel their services. Also, apparently, one of the airports in Kiev were hit this morning, so there couldn't be any service on that means anyway. So we have news and pictures, footage of Russian military crossing the border, being captured on camera. What else to say? As I said, stock markets are impaired. Gold is rising by nearly 2% now. Oil prices are skyrocketing by more than 6%. The US dollar also is going down at that moment.
Hey, drink first.
Diplomats are leaving the Ukraine capital. The German Foreign Ministry has called all Germans to return to Germany at that moment. Many of them were already called before to leave the country just in case. Now they are called completely to leave the country. There's an emergency telephone line for Germans to call the Foreign Ministry, and
Was this war unexpected?
This war, of course, was in a way unexpected and in a way expected. That is why the European Union and America were preparing in the last couple of weeks how to answer to a possible crisis in the Ukraine. So what happened yesterday, the Russian government has recognized two of the separating not states, but regions within the Ukraine as being independent, legally being independent. And now they have said that they have sent a military force to protect those regions that they have accepted and declared as backing up to be independent. So
that's all for now.
That should be all for now. If there are any more updates, I am happy to deliver you these news. And as I said, this is all things that apparently happen because the information on the actual situation is very rare, and a lot of that is also disinformation, purposefully disinformation to demoralize the citizen and the military forces. Thank you very much, and have a good day, and Allah Hafiz.